1.
Ohio the Drivers!
Neck roll, clockwise. 3, 5, 4, 5,
4, 5.
I'm grateful for an awesome weekend with my family and celebrating my daughter's birthday.
Great job on the stretches, maybe the best ever. You must be rested. Great job.
I'm doing it with intention.
Okay, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
All right, so today is part 5 of our kind of series here. So we're going to talk about 2025 goals. So Gilbert, what does goal mean to you?
It's like my done. Like I wanna do this in this time, and I do it step by step to get that. I don't know how to say, but to get my goal, my point, my
Okay.
finish line.
For anybody that's watching the video and listening, everybody needs to know that Gilbert is from Puerto Rico and he's self-taught on English, so he's done pretty good, but there's still a little language barrier, but you can do good with it. Matt, how would you define goal?
Boy, I guess looking at the end game, where you want to be in a certain amount of time.
Okay. Ryan, how would you define it?
I mean, you basically pick your target or mark your target and go after it. And also, I think
Just the definition of goal. Don't get ahead.
the definition of goal, another way to explain it is drawing a target on the wall, and that's your target, that's your goal, and
Okay.
aiming for it.
Bob, how would you define goal?
I would say set an achievement looking forward and striving to meet that achievement within a certain time or frame.
Okay. So the textbook definition is the object of a person's ambition or effort, an aim or desired result. So every answer you guys gave was good. Does a goal accomplish anything? Matt, what do you think?
Well, yeah, first of all, it's the journey of getting to the goal. You set boundaries, you stay focused.
I want you to read the question though.
Does the goal accomplish anything? Yes.
Okay. Absolutely not. A goal is nothing more than a hopeful dream if you don't plan and you don't execute. Okay? Saying that in 2025 I want to lose 25 pounds, that's my goal. Does that magically mean that I'm going to lose 25 pounds?
Well, I misread that question. Does achieving I should have read that better. Does achieving the goal mean anything?
No.
And yes, it does.
Setting a goal and not doing anything about it doesn't, the goal achieves nothing. It's a wishful hope. Okay?
So I forget what book it was.
We're
read.
we're getting there.
Into it. Never
We're
mind.
getting there. A dream does not drive action. The Road Less Stupid, Chapter 8, Generalizations Kill Clarity. So at this, we're going to pause the slideshow and we're going to listen to this chapter. 9 minutes.
Chapter 8, Generalizations Kill Clarity. The primary reason most goals are never achieved and most budgets are never attained is because they are hollow, generalized statements of hope and not rigorous, non-negotiable standards, plans, and measurable drivers. You'll see much more on these topics in Cause and Effect. Here it is on a bumper sticker. Generalizations kill clarity. Clarity equals power. Power is the ability to act. Whenever there is weak, ineffective, or no action, it is usually a result of a lack of clarity and/or accountability. A board of directors is great at filling this role. Most business owners and management teams are ineffective because they tend to use fluffy, glossy, generalized hand-waving as a substitute for a measurable, quantifiable plan. I see no reason why we shouldn't be at $2 million of revenue by next quarter. Is an effective way to deceive yourself into believing You have an actual visible target on the wall you're aiming at. Although they appear to be insightful at first glance, the following phrases are equally fluffy and meaningless. I'll know it when I see it. I'm trusting that. Get the support of. Make progress on. My intention is to. We hope to achieve. The majority of. Get this to the stage of. A big portion of. The assumption is. Preferably we will. Get laser focused on. Develop the structure for. Enhance our marketing. We are moving forward on. Our situation is complicated. My goal is to get back to where we were. Improve the performance of. Redouble our efforts. Vague or wishful thinking is analogous to shooting a bullet at the wall, then painting a bullseye around the hole and awarding yourself a gold medal for your marksmanship. Expert snipers paint the target first and then fire the bullet. They know the contest is won or lost by their ability to hit the target, not their ability to airbrush a result after the fact. A statement of a plan should sound something like this. Here are the specific measurable steps I'm taking, broken down by week, and the milestones, timelines, resources, and personal calendar time I am committing to reach $2 million in revenue this next quarter. These are the names of each lead in our funnel. This is who and how many I will call this quarter. Here's the conversion percentage I will achieve. This is the monetary value of each transaction. Here are the exact things I will do and the specific results I will generate to make certain we achieve our $2 million target. I'll be reporting on these 3 specific measurable things, A, B, and C, next week, and you should hold me accountable for achieving all 3. Can you?
Anybody notice the contrast in those statements?
Yeah.
Huh? I know you already know this material. Now do you understand why I say that a goal achieves absolutely 0?
Right, yes.
Okay? Everybody following this so far? Okay?
The difference between this statement of a plan and the earlier proclamation, I see no reason why we shouldn't be at $2 million of revenue by next quarter. We live in a world where accountability and measuring are feared and avoided. A lack of progress is excused because of heartfelt justifications such as, you don't understand. I had this distraction. There was an unforeseen emergency. We tried really hard. Something else came up. They just weren't in a buying mood. This was harder than I thought it was going to be. My situation is complicated. The dog ate as one of my original mentors told me years ago when I tried to explain why I had missed a critical deadline, Keith, good intentions do not achieve results. You have just given me some great excuses, but no good reason for why you missed having this ready for me. Ouch. Lesson learned. I will remind you.
It's a very powerful statement. You know, good intentions are great, but intentions don't achieve anything, just like goals. Okay? If you don't have that, what's the word I've been saying over and over again? I said it in every single presentation so far. Nope. Well, I did say that one, but that's not pertaining to this.
Well, as far as pertaining to goals and accountability
No.
is one of them.
You don't achieve a goal through accountability. I mean, yes, that's another layer, but what do you have to do?
We have to execute it. You have to do it,
Action,
act, yeah.
action, okay? Action gets things done, not talk, okay? I'm driving this home because we live in a world where there's a lot of chatter about what we're going to do, yet people don't do it, right? And I mean, I'm not talking necessarily in here, anywhere. Oh, we're going to do that. Well, then they don't do that. You know, you don't have change until you plan and act. Plan, do, check, act. Okay, not in the cycle of plan, do, check, act. There's nowhere it says talk. Okay. There's a big difference between talking and doing.
It's a
Right?
value, no value.
That's right.
If you're talking, it's no value.
There you go. There you go. I like that. All right.
Creating the plan does not cause the outcome to miraculously materialize. In fact, the actual plan will likely be missed. But having a specific, measurable plan enables you to have the optics required to see the deviations in real time and course correct accordingly. Though it sounds ironic, the chapter "It's Not About the Plan" emphasizes
So he's talking about right here that the plan is likely going to change, and that's PDCA. You plan it, you do it, you check it, you act. Oh, the plan needs tweaking. Now we tweak it. Now we do again. Plan. Okay, so it's a massaging of the plan as you receive in data as you're doing it that it's not working, right? So one of the lean guys I just met recently, Brian, he's working on a lot of layout changes in this place because he's very new to lean, and he talked about this with his team. You know, if we make the change and now all of a sudden the press brake operator doesn't have enough room to move between the machine and his material, he needs that feedback from them so that they can adjust. So, because you can't possibly ever plan anything out perfectly on paper. It doesn't work. You have to do it. So plan, do, check, act.
value of planning and having one. A delicious meal is a direct result of following a specific recipe during the preparation, not envisioning the guest applause after they've eaten it. When the food doesn't turn out as planned, you know the recipe wasn't followed. Without a recipe, how can you anticipate what ingredients to buy and what cooking utensils you must have in your kitchen prior to starting cooking? In business, these ingredients and utensils are called human resources, training, investment capital, and equipment. Asian fusion at a 5-star restaurant is very different from chili cheese dogs at a ballpark, but both can be called dinner. A plan is always executable. Think cookbook or Google Maps. The key question to ask in preparing to create your plan always starts with how, what, or who. How will we achieve this outcome? What specific activities are required to be performed? Who is going to perform them? What are our standards of performance? What are the critical drivers that must be consistently executed to achieve this outcome? How frequently must these critical activities be measured and reported to be successful? Who owns this outcome? Here it is on a bumper sticker. Glossy and fluffy are always safe and always produce mediocrity. Specifics and accountability require courage. A plan without specificity of deliverables and dates is a fantasy. Accountability should never be feared. It is the mother of great. Thinking time. How do I need to rework our plans and budgets to make them granular and measurable? What is the specific recipe I need to create to make certain the outcome we have stated is achieved? What are the specific activities and milestones we must hit in order to stay on track with our stated deliverables? Who, specifically, is accountable and responsible for achieving each outcome? What are the dashboards I need to create to make sure we're measuring the critical drivers and making corrections based on our performance? Now, go think. You will thank me later.
Okay, so Matt, hypothetically, let's say that you want to lose weight this year. I'm going to ask you right now to give me the plan, how you're going to do it, the do, what you're going to do, and the check, how you're going to check it.
The plan would be to exercise and change of diet would be the plan.
Well, well, change of diet, how?
Eat
give me
foods that
the
will-
specifics.
No,
Okay?
in my case, it would be eating, probably cutting down on my carbs, eating less fatty food, then set aside a certain amount of time a day to exercise, walk, jog, whatever, treadmill.
Okay, so that's your plan.
That's my plan.
Okay, what's your do? What's your action?
To follow through with that plan, to go out, go to the grocery store, buy healthier food, get rid of the food, the shit that I shouldn't be eating, buy a treadmill. And then my check would be to walk on the scale and see if the weight's coming off.
Okay, so, but you'd also probably have to set some dates,
Yes.
right? So you'd have to set a target of how much you want to lose per what date, right? So maybe it's 1 pound per week. So if you go, let's say you decide you're going to check every 2 weeks, and you go 2 weeks and you've lost 1 pound and not 2, what do you do?
Well, you take a look at your plan, you
Yep.
change it to get closer to the outcome you want.
So you change your action then?
Yeah.
Okay, so you massage your plan, you change your action, then you measure again, and you keep repeating. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
So do you see a big difference in that versus saying, I'm going to lose 25 pounds in 2025? Do you see how that goal is absolutely meaningless? Okay.
Right now, I think you're reading my mind. Because I always thinking I'm gonna lose pounds, but I don't do nothing.
All right.
I just change my diet, but I don't go and make something like walking or go to the gym and do something. But
So the important takeaway here is that, number one, wishful dreams don't get anything done, but a plan is the first step. But if you don't take action, if you don't actually do things, the plan won't get done. Okay? If you don't measure your action, you don't know if what you're doing is the right action to reach the plan. Okay? So and then to ultimately reach your target, right? So, goal or target? What do you think we're going to call it?
Target.
Target. Okay. There it is. So we got a clear indication of what we're aiming for. We get that through what?
Planning.
The planning. Okay.
So, having a clear target sets you up for that plan.
That's right.
because If you say, hey, I'm going to lose weight, but where's your target? Then you're just, like we've been saying, you're aimlessly just doing whatever. And probably eventually stop. It's a diet, you'll eventually fall right off of it.
This is why participation trophies are a joke. You award a reward for action, for performance, for somebody doing something, right?
How do you set, as far as setting a target is an easy, once again, it's just a word, but making sure that it's a realistic target.
We're gonna
If I
get-
say
we're
I'm
gonna-
going to lose 75 pounds by the end of the week,
We're gonna.
that's not realistic
we're-
unless I cut off my arms.
Very, very good question, and we're getting to that.
Okay.
Very good question. So to be an A player, we paint the target, we create the plan, we execute the plan, action. Action, not talk, equals results. You could talk for 6 months about how you're going to lose weight. If you don't put action in there, you will have no result. Okay? Talk is cheap. Bullshit talks. What's the saying? Bullshit talks, something walks. I forget the saying, but you guys know. Specific targets, specific plans, and deliberate execution. Only then we can become A players And tying this all into everything, A, players are responsible for value creation. Value creation is our mission. That's how we serve our customers. As a byproduct of that service, only as a byproduct, we expect to profit as a company, as a team, and individually. We create value, we take ownership, we're accountable, we specify targets, plans, and we execute them. Then we receive a reward, profit, two components, dollars and gratification. See how this all ties in? So our 2025 targets, what are they? Coming soon. Why would I say coming soon?
Well, I don't think it's because we're going to write them down after we achieve them and then cross them off.
It's for this reason. I'm not going to stand here and lay out 50 targets when I don't have a plan to get to them. So back to your point and your question. I could stand here and say, okay, our target this year is to go from 5 people to 10 with no idea how to do that. I could say our target here is to double our sales with no idea how to do that. Well, that would be stupid. So instead, I kind of have to go backwards, okay? So if we want to increase our revenue, we know that to increase our revenue, one of the components is we have to increase our staff. But I have to look at, okay, what is an achievable target through a good plan to grow our staff, to therefore grow our revenues. So I could say, yeah, we're going to add 20 people here next year. Well, how the hell are we going to do that, right? What's the plan? What's an achievable plan? Now, I'm also not going to set up a weak target because I'm lazy, right? I'm going to set up something that it's going to take some work to get to, right? You know, so I mean, if you said to your son that you want him to clean the room, you would probably say to him, and I want it done tomorrow, not take all the time you need. You got 6 months to get this done, right? That wouldn't be really pushing him. Same thing if you had a coach at the gym that said, oh, don't worry, 1 push-up a day. That's all you got to do, right? You want a coach that's going to push you to go a little harder to achieve your targets, right? Okay? Everybody got a couple minutes here to wrap up, takeaways? Matt, you look like you're either in deep thought or...
Once again, I'm always looking at, you know, the achievement and then taking what is feasible. Because if your coach said, I want you to do 700 push-ups today, and that's not physically feasible for me to do. So I suppose that, as you said, you always have to kind of circle back with your goal in your planning phase. So I'm guessing that right now you have a goal to create a plan. That's
I have a target. I don't have a goal. I don't believe in goals.
You have a target. You have a target within to create a plan. So that's one of your targets right now.
I already know what the answer is to these questions, but I'm not going to sit here and talk about them until I can tell you the plan with them.
Right.
Okay? Right? Gilbert?
It's like everybody say here, if you want to make a plan, but you have to make a real plan. Don't thinking like I want to, like example, want to lose 20 pounds in a week. You make a starting a short target to reach the complete target. So.
There's a saying, you eat an elephant one bite at a time. And he talks about that in that chapter. He says you break it down into small, delegatable, measurable chunks. Okay? Bob, what's your takeaway?
Yeah, I mean,
30 seconds.
nothing happens, you know, at the snap of a finger. So you got to kind of create, you know, like having a couple of the baby steps to, you know, and you know, it's, you know, again, you know, a lot of people quit going to the gym after the first month because it's like you don't see, because you just want to, you know, immediately get that result, and that's unimaginable. So, but by creating and taking those, you know, kind of baby steps in the way, you know, having those targets and achieving those small targets to get to the ultimate target is how you
Okay. Ryan?
be successful.
Well, this couldn't come at a better time because, you know, Jaron and I are setting up some goals this year personal goals and financial goals, and we are talking about actual plans and executing steps that are going to get us there. So this is just helps reinforce that idea of where we're headed. So
Okay, well, that's great, but what do you think about it?
What I think about it, I think it's excellent, and I also think that it's a reason why I haven't achieved a lot of my targets over the years, is because I didn't have a plan. It was just wishful thinking. I'm gonna, catch the wind and see what happens, and let whatever happen. And
If you recall, when you had a little bit of struggles with some paint and stuff like that, what would you say to me when I would say, well, Ryan, you got to improve upon this?
I can't remember the phrase. I know it used to drive you crazy.
It starts with a V.
A V?
Yeah, the word. You'd say, I have to be more vigilant.
Vigilant,
And
yeah.
what was my response to you?
So how the hell are you going to do that? How
Right.
are you going to cheat?
Being
and
more
I wouldn't
vigilant
have an
isn't a
answer.
plan. That's a statement of hope.
Right. Exactly. It's just a statement of hope. It's just like saying, well, I don't see why by next week I'll be better at this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Okay.
So yeah, it's just applying it is the key. And I'll be honest with you, I don't fully grasp the circle yet. I don't understand why the action happens later on that. And
Okay, so you plan, number one.
right, I understand.
Do is the action. The act is a different term in this. Let me explain.
I get it.
You plan, you do, that's action, okay?
Uh-huh.
You check, you measure, so in the case of weight, you get on the scale, you measure, and then act is really course correct. You're acting again. You're you could really call act
Reviewing?
readjust the plan.
Okay.
Because then you're going to go at it again, okay?
Right. Okay.
All right.
I get that a little better because the act just kind of threw me off a little bit.
Okay.
But okay.
All right, well, that's a wrap for today.
Nice.
Okay.